What is up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. Today, we're going to take a look at the Reactivate Starscream. This is the one that came in a 2-pack with the Reactivate Bumblebee. And yeah, this is, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but this is definitely the better figure of the two, which is not to say that the Bumblebee sucked. It's just that this figure is really good. It's a really interesting look or take on Starscream, especially from a visual perspective. And it really looks nice. Really looks interesting and cool. I am intrigued by this upcoming video game. But I wish that we had, more than like a tiny little teaser to see on it. So like the Bumblebee, he sports an asymmetrical color scheme. You can see there's a lot more like blackened, maybe carbon scored or replacement panels or whatnot. But in addition to that, it's also an asymmetrical sculpt. Like you look at the way this thigh is printed, and then this one is a lot different. And, these panels are completely different. The wings are very different. His null rays don't match. I also kind of like that they are attached to his forearms instead of his upper arms. That's kind of a cool look for him. I like that. But yeah, pretty clean from the back too. I think this is all supposed to like peg together a little bit. I don't know. There's like these little slots here on these fins here and this tab here, and I think that's supposed to peg together, but I've never gotten it to do that. And if you were to peg that in, he would lose his wing wiggles. You gotta have the wing wiggles. Pretty much the only thing that I could really complain about this figure is that his ankles really suck. But they are completely salvaged by the fact that these fins here come down low enough to touch the ground and completely support the figure basically at like he doesn't even have any lean to him, so they act as heel spurs, which render the actual heel spurs completely useless, which is, given how useless they actually were, is actually pretty decent. But anyhow, in terms of accessories, really all he comes with is these null rays. And that's basically it. A couple interesting things to keep in mind is that so these like hip armor parts, you can see here that this one's molded in red. The shoulder armor parts are the same way. That this one's also molded in red, though while they only painted the outside of this so you can see the red all the way around it, there's no red showing on this one here. It's completely painted over in black, but it's definitely red plastic underneath that. So that's interesting. I really dig the asymmetrical sculpt. I really dig this guy's transformation, but we'll get to that in just a second. Decepticon patterns up here, though I don't know. I kind of get the impression that like Starscream was like salvaged, possibly by the same team that salvaged Bumblebee, and that he might be working with them. So I don't know. Maybe an interesting thing. Again, we'd have to wait till like we get some freaking news about that freaking video game. But anyhow, in terms of articulation, his head is on a ball joint and wiggles around just a little bit, rotates freely enough. The arms will go as far as the wings will allow. They'll come out for most of a tree pose. You got a bicep swivel there, single joint bend at the elbow for about 90 degrees of bend. No wrist articulation except for this transformation here. He does have waist articulation. Legs go forward that much, which is hell of a lot. Go backwards that much. Go out for most of a Van Dam. You've got a thigh swivel here and a bend at the knee for about 90. One thing is when you, I think that, so these are supposed to poke out a little bit like that. But as you handle it, you may push those in. So it's up to you whether you want to take the time to pull them out every time you accidentally push them in or just ignore them. And then he's got ankle articulation, but because this ankle's so weak, it really doesn't matter because it's just going to be standing in a way that's supported by his these little fins right here. So getting this guy transformed up is fun, and I mean that in a completely non-sarcastic way. So to get started, let's take this and bring this out, and this comes out. And you can kind of rotate this around. Rotate this around a bit. The wings are going to come around like so. You can take these guys here. No, not yet. Okay. Trying to crack into this. He's just buttoned up really tight. There we go. Yeah, when you tab this guy into place, you can see this like little tab that comes over. It goes right over this pin that keeps it all together, and that locks it in hella tight. So you'll take and fold that in, and then, well, actually, you got to rotate this around, I believe. Fold that in, close that up. Bring this all the way around. There we go. Yeah, those things peg in really hard as well. With those out of the way, you can kind of bring them down. That'll allow you to bring out these little doohickeys here, which will allow you to fold up these guys here. For the legs, you can just like fold up his feet here, and then this whole panel will kind of fold up like so. This will collapse down, assuming that it hasn't already. Do the same with the other side. Close that up, fold this up. He looks like a mess now, but I promise you he's almost all together. We'll put these little tabs into place there. And so for these null rays, you can take them off of here. Let's fold it in his hands. This arm is going to, yeah, that peg there that I was curious about, you can plug that into the socket where his null ray used to go. And then you can just pop the null ray in right here. And we'll do the same for that. Rotate this, plug that in there. And then plug this into that wing there. And then just kind of clean it up a little bit. Squeeze all these parts together. Fold these tail fins up. Make his vertical stabilizers vertical, all that jazz. And what you end up with is this airplane looking thing. And it's not your usual look for Starscream, which I think really like is cool. A little bit jank from the bottom. Big old hollow space here. Also, this is one of the first figures in a while that I've noticed that it's it's an airplane figure, but it doesn't have one of those fancy schmancy little ports to plug it in to a stand, so it's not going to do much flying poses. No landing gear to speak of, but you know, you can just sit it right there on the knees. And all in all, I think it looks pretty damn good. He's got like triple engines back here. It's pretty swank. I like it. It's cool. My soft spot is definitely for like Voyager class Optimus Primes, but I kind of dig a good Starscream as well. But yeah, not a whole lot else to speak about here. Just, you know, good sculpt, good paint apps, good transformation. Mostly good transformation. I like him. I'm really looking forward to this game whenever the fuck it comes out. But anyhow, that's about all I got. Everybody, thanks for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.